We've been looking at the different kinds of advertising. So what we're going to be looking at now is actually planning a promotional campaign. We've been touching on things like costs and certain elements of planning, but we're going to actually work out how to plan a promotional campaign. Some of the things we have covered, so we don't have to go into every single detail in each of the sections, but it's the plan for an overall campaign. The development of a promotional plan for a business or product. So a promotional plan is an integral part of a marketing plan holistically, in other words, overall. Though it's an important document, it not only includes a company's market evaluation, goals, direction, and marketing results, it has a complete breakdown and structure with chronological flowcharts of efforts to be undertaken under the heading of positioning in the overall scheme of marketing things. So typically this will include things like goal setting. The organization's mission, defined as a mission, describes the organization's basic function in society in terms of the products and services for its customers. So, for example, Sony, their goal is to experience the joy of advancing and applying technology for the benefits of the public. Situational review. This is done by the help of various tools, some of those that we're going to be looking at, like marketing audit, done by a PESTEL or SWOT analysis of the company. Product, SBU, strategic business unit, etc. It identifies existing external and internal factors which will influence the marketing planning of the company. It also clarifies opportunities and threats and allows the stakeholders to make alternations to the marketing that is needed. Defining marketing objectives and strategy based on the overall objectives of the company and vision. The marketing objectives can be deduced easily following models like that of Ansof's model, BCG matrix, PLC matrix, and the 4 Ps. So we're going to be looking at some of those. The Ansof matrix, if we look at that, it's basically designing the products with the market. So as we have at the moment, we have a particular existing products that we are offering in an existing market. Now, what we're after in that as a goal would be greater market penetration, if that's what we want to concentrate on. If we want to bring out new products in an existing market, then we have to develop the product. The market exists, we already have those, so we have to have a new product, so we have to develop the product and put that into an existing market, which we have already got. If we're bringing an existing product into a new market, then obviously we have to develop that market. The product is one we already have. We just have to do that. But obviously, if it's a new product in a new market, well, that is complete diversification. In other words, we have to develop both at the same time because we're bringing a totally new product in a different market, something that we've not made before, to people that haven't bought from us before. And that is defined as diversification. An example of that, I think I've already mentioned it, but it's worth repeating. A good example of that would be Fuji Films, which obviously are renowned for making films, and their target market is people who are interested in photography. And they came up with, because people weren't buying much of the films, they found out that most of their products, that their things that they were good at, in this particular case with chemicals, and the places where they were producing, they came up with some products that were very good for skin care. So it was a totally new product, skincare, and obviously a different market. Now it's not people who are in the photographic market, it was women who required the skincare products. So new market, new product, totally diversified from what they were doing in the past. So an Ansof matrix, or Ansof growth matrix, has its root in a paper written in 1957 by Igor Ansof. In the paper, he promotes that product marketing strategy was a joint work of 4 growth areas. The ones that we've seen: market penetration, market development, product development, and diversification. So 4 methods of actually growing a particular company. When displayed visually, these 4 areas create the Ansof growth matrix. So how to use it? As part of a larger strategic planning initiative, an Ansof matrix is a communication tool which helps you search for possible growth strategies for your organization. So normally what the idea is, you would select one of those particular quadrants. So the first quadrant in Ansof matrix is market penetration. Now, it's often adopted as a strategy when the organization has an existing product within a known market and needs a growth strategy within that market. A good example of such a scenario is the telecom industry. Most telecom products exist in the market and must cater to that market. So in such cases, competition is intense. This means that in order to grow, the organization may have to go outside to increase the market share. Market development, the second growth area. This strategy is used when the firm's target is a new market with existing products. So lots of examples here. Footwear firms like Adidas, Nike and Reebok, which have entered international markets for expansion. So they're continuing to expand their brands across new global markets. So that's a perfect example of market development. For a smaller enterprise, this entails going from a current market to another market where it does not currently compete. Product development in the Ansoff matrix refers to firms which have a good market share in an existing market and therefore might need to introduce new products for expansion, so bringing new products to the same people that they're already serving. Product development is needed when the company has a good customer base and knows the market for its existing product has reached saturation. They're not likely to buy more because they've already covered them. In this case, the market penetration strategy no longer practical. A new product development strategy that caters to the existing market is a better approach. So if you consider an easy example of that is if you're selling shampoo and there's no more people in that because you're selling particularly cheap shampoo, then start going into a new product such as conditioner. So you go to hair conditioner instead, or additionally. Diversification, we've already touched on some of that. The diversification in the Ansoff matrix applies when the product is completely new and is being introduced into a new market. So an example of diversification, Samsung began as a trading company and then later expanded into insurance, securities and retail. Today it's most well known for its electronics division. Though this group initially started with one product, a black and white television set. It entered the telecom market in 1980, developing telephone switchboards, then later telephones, fax machines, mobile phones. So it now has a market presence in a diversified global set of business, including many different things, obviously, that we already know, semiconductors, cameras, watches, etc. If we're now looking at the growth matrix, this is basically working on those products that we already have, where we have different kinds of where we can grow in our market share. So what is if we have a high level of market share and a high level of market growth, in other words, that there is a potential. If we have a product that is has the potential to grow a lot with a large market share, then they are our stars. So high market share, high market growth. You're well established, and these are fantastic opportunities, the ones that make the money. Now, we may have a good market share, but where the market isn't growing. So high market share, low market growth. So well established, but the market itself isn't growing. So the opportunities are limited. In fact, the market might even be getting smaller. So, and I suppose an example of that maybe with cameras is you might have a high share of the market, but it's a smaller market, it's a reducing market. Then when we have a lower market share and a low market growth, so low market share, low market growth, your market presence is weak and it's going to be difficult to make a profit. These are called the dogs. Then moving down to the question marks, low market share, but high market growth. Now it's that, if you think about it, it's definitely a question mark. It's a low share, but it has the potential to be better. So the opportunity, no one knows. So what to do with this? These opportunities need serious thought as to whether increased investment is warranted. Is it worth spending more money to get them out of that, of the low share? Are they likely to be able to grow? This helps us decide certainly where to spend our money. Clearly, in this one, it seems quite obvious. Where do we not spend money? Well, on the dogs. It's a low market share and it's not going anywhere. So it's a weak presence and it's going to be very difficult to actually make a profit out of it. So we wouldn't spend any money on that. The cash cows, again, we have to be careful. They're still making money at the moment, but the market is getting smaller. So maybe we should consider reducing money there. The question marks, it's high risk. It doesn't have much of a share at the moment, but it could possibly grow. And obviously the stars are the ones we want, but how many of those products do we have? Right, the growth share matrix, which we've just looked at, also known as the Boston matrix, or BCG, which is Boston Consulting Group Growth Matrix. So it creates a visual assessment of products or investments in terms of relative market share and growth rates. So each investment or product is plotted in one of the 4 positions on the matrix. A product or investment can be considered a star, a question mark, a cash cow, or a dog. Dogs have low market share and low growth rate. As their name implies, it's a product or investment with little or no potential. Question marks describe an investment as growing but not necessarily generating a lot of revenue due to low market share. A question mark may require large sums of investment to keep growing, and under the right circumstances can become a star. But without growth, a question mark can very quickly become a dog. Stars have a high growth rate, high growth market. They make and consume large amounts of capital. As the market growth declines and the star holds onto its market share, it becomes a cash cow. Then can generate revenue for future innovation investment. Cash cows have a high market share in a mature, low growth market. So they generate revenue than the resources they consume, but they're often used to fund new business ventures and help turn question marks and stars into potential future cash cows. Now, stars and question mark only occur in the introductory phase. So while cash cows and dogs exist during times of maturity, well, we have to consider that new product portfolios will start off either as a star or a question mark, and then in the longer term may progress downwards. So I have to be very careful of this. At the introductory stage, we have the stars and question marks, and then later, as they reach maturity and decline, maybe stay longer in terms of being a cash cow, and the quicker they decline, turn into dogs. After these marketing activities are done, a promotional plan succeeds in the overall scheme of things, which includes the following steps. So identify prospective customer sets from the overall target set, which has been deduced after segmentation, targeting, positioning. STP of the overall consumer population set. In other words, a particular segment of a market which we can target and give a particular positioning of where we're after with our products. Conducting budgeting for the promotions and deciding on the budgetary details. In other words, where we're going to be spending that money. And then selecting the promotional components as per the budget, and understanding the usage of these different components in terms of return on investment, impact generation, and the reach to a target audience. Devising the chronological flowchart of events and implementation strategy with exact timetables and deadlines. The actual implementation with clear roles and responsibilities for each person that's involved in doing this, what it is that we're expecting of them and what they have to actually do. Capturing, recording, delivering, and evaluating feedback. And obviously all the results, and then incorporating that to make insights for the future. Taking an example of an automotive major such as Audi or BMW, we can analyze the following of their marketing plan and steps that they followed to develop the plan for those company products. So goal setting to become the world's largest car manufacturer, as an example. Environmental audits, market expansion, product expansion through the ones we mentioned, Pestle and Soft in the BCG matrix. So deciding the segmentation, target position for the chosen market set. Then define the segmentation, targeting, positioning of the consumer in the expanded territory. Then applying stages in the segmentation of targeting. Deciding the products, the promotion, prices, places, people, packaging, and the potential for new geographies and targeted client segments. An implementation strategy, the actual ground working and clearances that are required, launching and pitching the products, working out our sales and conversion, and then obviously sales, services and maintenance of the consumers that we have and maintaining those customers. So the effectiveness of all of their campaigns can be measured by the following techniques. The advertising and promotion campaign effectiveness is equivalent to the revenue generated and the return on investment, the ROI, garnered from the campaign. In other words, the campaign effectiveness equals revenues plus the return on the investment. Now, obviously, there are other measures and techniques to evaluate the effectiveness of their campaign, such as cognitive. In other words, what we've learned about it as a response or a test. The media audience measurement, how many people have actually seen that particular advert in a particular medium. Psychological measurement, how people have changed, the effect or the attitude that it's changed in people. Opinion measurements, attitude measurements, cognitive measurements, motive tests, etc. Sales analysis measurements. All of these things will tell us how effective our campaign has been, depending on what it is that we wanted to achieve in the first place. Got a particular case study that we're going to be looking at now. Hair care sales promotion. So this was done by Boots, the pharmacy and beauty product British company. It was started in 1815 by John Boot, and it's a herbal remedy shop in Nottingham at that time. So his son took over the business and christened it Boots and Company Limited. So riding on the post-war industrialisation wave, Boots expanded rapidly into neighbouring areas and started diversifying into things like travel insurance and opticians and dental care. So well beyond the original brief, if you like, of the founder as a herbal remedy shop. Now, Boots' homegrown brands, in collaboration with top designers, faced obviously stiff competition in premium hair product market from the likes of Albert Klein, Procter & Gamble, and L'Oreal in Paris. Boots felt it didn't maximize profits from these brands, and so thus emerged the core problem of our case, maximizing profits while increasing the market. Competition, the main competitions in the premium section, the ones we mentioned, Procter & Gamble, L'Oreal, Paris, Alberto Culver, and then the retail competitors, Tesco, Sainsbury's, Morrison, Superdrug, with large amounts of stores. Now, a large number of brands with no branding enjoying market share in excess of 9%. Now, less brand loyalty they were having due to consumers' beliefs and changing preferences and meaningful product differentiation. In other words, there was consumers felt that other products was deemed as being better. Premium brands mainly purchased by fashion-conscious women in the 20 to 35 age group. So more than 85% of women population walk through Boots store every week, which is a vast amount of people, because of the range of products they were having. Now, don't forget, they weren't necessarily going after one specific product. Now, if we look at the difference between their advertising versus their sales promotion, in the competitive hair market, market share was directly proportional to the amount of advertising, or certainly the amount of money that was spent on advertising. If you consider that you see, we're somewhat bombarded by this on television that are coming out all the time, that because it's something that maybe we wouldn't develop a lot of time analysing the difference in products, that we tend to make our purchases more based on how often and the frequency, certainly, that we're hit with adverts for a particular brand. We may not necessarily understand the difference between the different brands that are available. Therefore, our choice maybe is more pushed by the adverts because it has a greater effect on, because it's reminding us of a particular brand on the television or on other adverts that we've seen constantly, and that may influence us much more than actually looking at each of the products individually and deciding which maybe is best for us. Now, no budget was allocated for special adverts for Boots hair care products. In other words, they didn't have a separate advert for a particular product or a particular promotion that we're doing. So sales promotion was the only method that was available to marketers as a mass marketing strategy. So this was what they had to deal with. No extra money. Boots generally was the generic product which was being advertised for people to go in and buy all those kind of products. So there wasn't an advertising budget specifically for that kind of product. So this is quite common when in many cases, not in all cases, in a lot of cases, some companies will actually advertise the promotion on their regular advertising slots. So 3 sales promotion strategies were proposed. 3 for 2, so in other words, buy 3 effectively get one free, a gift with a purchase, or money off coupon. Now, we have to think why we're going through this particular example. In many cases, we will think that these are very good ideas, but which one works out to be the most cost efficient? Which is the best one? It's all very well throwing lots and lots of ideas out, but we've got to be very careful. Don't forget, with what we're saying, with all of these things, if you consider these 3 points, every single one is creating less profit on the product. In other words, whatever amount of money we're making on 2 items, if we were sold at the full price, we would make the profit on that. But if we're now saying you buy 3 and one of them is free, that is taking profit away from the others. In other words, we're automatically reducing a large amount of our profit. If we're giving a gift with every purchase, regardless of what the gift is, it's going to cost something. Therefore, the profit in itself is going to be reduced. And obviously, a money off coupon, first off, we have to print the coupon, transmit the coupon, or distribute the coupon. They cost money, and that in itself requires the cost to be reduced. Again, reduction in profit. So we have 3 different options here, which really go to the core of promotion, saying that we are making less money on those. So where's the benefit? What we're after is more people coming in to buy them. So we generate more sales, have less profit on each sale, but hopefully generate more, and therefore more profit over the longer term, based on a larger, greater increase in sales. If we don't have a greater increase in sales, then our promotion has been for nothing. In other words, it's just not worked. So we have to make sure that we've got the results so we can analyze them, find out which one is the best and which one is the most appropriate, and which ones maybe we should be repeating and which ones we should be abandoning. So let's crunch some of those numbers. Right, I have to go through this quite carefully. Here we have the particular category. Here we can see the prices effectively of the competition that is there with shampoo, Charles Worthington, John Frieda, Nick Clark, etc. So the different prices. Obviously, the first thing that we're looking at here is actually the prices of all of our competitors on each of those products. So shampoo, conditioner, gel, mousse, hairspray. Now these obviously are just hair products, which is a very small part of the overall things. And again, we would generally looking at the things have to be not only the similar product, but the similar size. So all products here are available in 250mm sizes. All prices are in pounds, in this case British pounds, and per 100 millilitres. In other words, if something comes in a half litre, we divide it by 5, so that we've got something relevant of the price of the same product across the board. So we have an average price for our product, so per 250 millilitre. So our average price is £4.75 for shampoo, £5 for conditioner, £7.50 for gel. So our target, who is our target? Young, fashionable women. That is considered to be the target audience. But how many were there? How many of those visit Boots to buy their hair care products? So we need this information first. So we have the percentage of the urban population. Down from 78% in the 60s, going down to 76% in the 70s, coming up to 78, up to 2000, we're now at 79%, all the way up to 2010, 2015, 82%. So 82% of females coming into the store. Now we've got the UK population by sex and a 5-year age group. In other words, every 5 years, how many people are there out there? If we have a particular percentage of people coming in, how many people are there that we can actually look at? So in terms of male and female, we've got a particular number here. This is in 2011. So the difference between 2001 and 2011. So we can see quite clearly here, if our particular market was saying, which was the younger one, so if we look between 20 and 21, we've got 2 million, between 25 and 29, just over 2 million in that particular age group. So if we were looking at people between 20 and 30, well, we're looking at 4.2, 4.3 million people. So as we can assume who we're looking at in our particular target audience for this particular promotion, it's mainly urban women who live in urban areas, obviously, that would buy such premium products. So the market share is directly proportional to the number of stores it's sold in. 250mm shampoo lasts for about 2 weeks. So again, we can see how often people will come back and buy it from us. Conditioner is used twice as often, and gel is used at the same rate of shampoo. So there are some basic assumptions. Why? Because we need to know not only how many people are going to be buying this, how often are they coming back for it. So in this case, the number of females between 20 and 35, that's the number that was picked. If we go back to what we've seen before, how many of that comes to 5.135 million. The number of stores selling the hair care, 4,900. The number of boot stores that we have, in this case, in this particular example, 1,300. The average time of replacement of shampoo, 14 days. Average time of replacement conditioner, 7. Average time of gel, 14. So we have to know, we already said what we have to do beforehand. In other words, what we were doing prior to the promotion. We can't start working out if we've done a good job on the promotion afterwards until we already know what the sales were on average beforehand. So in this case, 100,000 units of shampoo, 200,000 units of conditioner, 25,000 units of gel. So the average margin for premium products was 40% of the final price. So if we do that, the shampoo, I can't actually see the numbers on my screen, but the shampoo, £4.50, average profit per unit is £1.80. 40% of £5 is £2, and 40% on the gel is 28, 38, to nearly £3. Now we're looking at profits per day. So total sales, 325,000. Conditioner, obviously the profit margin, as you can see on conditioner, is much higher at 400,000. Gel, 75,000, 180,000 on shampoo. So total daily profits, £655,000. So quite a lot of money then, getting on towards, well, it's probably about 800,000 euros at the moment. Now that's, don't forget, in why we're going into detail on this, because before we're doing a promotion, it's not just a question of the fact that we've sold more. Don't forget, they're trying to make a profit. So this is why the profit is so important. It's all very well saying we've sold a lot more, but if we haven't made more profit, we would have been better off selling less and making more profit. After all, in most cases, obviously not every, but in most cases, the goal of any company is to sell more product and make more profit. What are we after? Profit, not just the amount of stuff they sell. So we've got to think very carefully about that. We're working out at the moment of the profits we're making now, then the profits we're making after. Although we know we're going to be selling more, certainly that is hopeful, is that extra amount that we sell justified by us making more profit? If we sell more and make less profit, then we maybe shouldn't have done that particular type of promotion. So remember the 3 kind of strategies we were offering? So 3 for 2 was one. What was the next one? See, I'm asking you to remember things now. The next one was offering a free gift, and the last one was a straight price reduction. So 3 for 2, mix and match. So you could pick out from a particular selection of what you wanted. You pick 3 products and you only pay for 2 of them. Normally there are restrictions in these things. In this case, probably the restriction would you have, the cheapest product is the free one. Because obviously you couldn't pick 2 cheap products and then a very expensive one. So normally when it is a mix and match and the original price is on there, it's the 2 expensive ones you pay for, and the third one, the cheapest one, is the cheapest. In many cases this is a good idea, obviously, but in many cases people will not actually necessarily look for one that's particularly like the least or the most expensive of the third one. So one thing for £10, another for £10, another for £7.50 or £8. And so in many cases the third one is quite arbitrary and maybe £3 or £4. In other words, customers don't make an effort to try and maximize the possibility. They tend to buy just what is more appropriate for them, regardless of the price. price they don't tend to notice. They will pick the 3 things that they want and will only pay for 2 of them. Right. So in this case, choosing any 3 products from the same sub-brand and paying only for the 2 costlier ones. So the cheapest one is the free one. Sales increased to 300% of the pre-promotional sales. So with 60% of the total coming from the consumer who wouldn't have bought the product without the promotion. So in this case, we can see the particular products that they purchased without the promotion. So we can see, certainly in the case of the oranges, the conditioner, which obviously they've sold in vast amounts with the promotion. Again, with the shampoo, a lot more, and the same with the other one, but not necessarily very much in terms of gel, because they weren't selling very many anyway. So since the conditioner to shampoo usage is 2 to 1, in other words, use twice as much conditioner as shampoo, well, the predominant cluster sales under the 3 for 2 scheme would come from the customers buying 2 conditioners and getting the shampoo for free. So don't forget, it's the cheaper of the 2. So the profit of 1 cluster, shampoo and 2 conditioners, 2 plus 2, minus the 2.7, which is the cost of the other product, is £1.30. So the profits, 300,000 at £1.3 profit each, plus 75,000, etc. Units sold 950,000. Right, so that's the first one. Let's have a look at the free gift with a purchase. So attaching a small sample of a complementary product with the actual product. This was the original idea. So they're getting something, a complementary, but it could be something with not necessarily the exact same thing, but it could be something along the lines of a perfume going with the shampoo. The advantage is that this can go to all 3 products. So it's the same additional product you're selling across the board. So the average cost is 93 pence, so 0.93 of a pound per attachment, the actual cost of adding that to the item that they're buying. So sales would increase to 170% of the pre-promotional sales, with 40% of the final sales coming from people who wouldn't have purchased a hair care product from Boots. So 40% of them are the new customers. So again, we can see how those have all worked out in proportionally. And again, conditioner zooming ahead there because pre-promotional sales were high anyway. Right, so the profits from the shampoo, it's 180 times the amount of sold. Profits from the conditioner, profits from the gel, so the promotional cost, £513,000. So we'll compare those at the end in a minute. Right, now doing some discount to straight discount. So the idea was a 50 pence or half a pound, 50 pence coupon on all products redeemable during a current store visit. So heavy promotion by other brands of the same type. This increased sales to 150% of non-promotional sales, and 50% of those would come from customers who wouldn't have purchased a hair product otherwise. So they may have still come into the store. What we're talking about is not buying other things. This is a specific promotion for a specific product line in this particular store. So again, profits from the shampoo, profits from the conditioner, the gel, and then the promotion costs, in this case, £243,000. So now, what do we have? We have the information of how many we've sold, the increase in sales for each one of those promotions. So, quick question, easy question, which one is the most profitable? So by asking that, you should now be analysing how much has been spent on each one, and what the profit margins are that came in, and in other words, which one gave the greatest percentage of profit or the greatest amount of profit. In other words, based on the amount of money spent, which one was the best one. It sounds very easy, but when we have the information here, now all we have to do is to analyze the information that we already have. We know how much we've spent. We know how much money is coming on each one. Now, obviously, the numbers are going to be different in terms of each one had a different response rate, but which one proved to be the most that gave the most profit? Now, even though one may have given more customers but reduced the profit, and another one gave slightly less and with more profit, maybe it's a similar amount in total, but one obviously required selling more. We have to consider this then for future analysis and future decisions. Once we know which is the most profitable, then we can decide in the future what we're going to be doing and whether it's worth doing or not. And after all, we can't keep it at this particular price. Don't forget, we're talking about these things that it's a short term. If we have always buy two, get one free, or 50% off, or 20% off, or whatever price off, the consumer then will get to understand that that is the regular price. We're never in a position to go back to the previous one. And therefore, it kind of loses this novelty, and people may not come back because it's considered, well, I'll just get it somewhere else, and that isn't a promotion anymore. That's a standard price. So we're looking at the difference in sales on each of those. So with no promotion, 3 for 2, a gift with the purchase, and the last one was a straight discount. So there we have number of sales. So if you consider what the sales were before, gift with a price, obviously it's a little bit more. And certain ones, maybe it's slightly more, is with a 50% off, it's increased slightly. Okay, about 50%, but not too bad. So more sales, but don't forget, this is the amount of sales. What we're not considering yet at this stage is the profit margin. Now, although discount has increased sales, gift with a product has actually given slightly more, and obviously the most popular was certainly 3 for 2. After all, effectively, it's giving 33% off. In other words, if each item cost €1, instead of spending €3, we'd spend 2. So 33%, a third cheaper. So obviously, this seems to be the most popular. Not surprised, you're getting 33% off, rather than the other one was only 50% off. On something that was what, £5, nearly £5. So it was something along the lines of 10% discount. So we now know which is the most popular, but which one would you pick now? Well, the actual answer is you can't say based on this information. Sells more doesn't mean that they've made more profit. May not even have made any. So we have to be careful of jumping to conclusions. Just because something now has become popular, we have to work out if we've actually made any money on this. So final profits. This is the crucial information. So we can see the profits that we already had from the previous situation where there was no promotion at all. Now, if we compare that to the 3 for 2, which is what we're doing now, don't forget we're just looking at a particular product line. So we're not looking at everything in the store. So maybe they're making more money elsewhere, and maybe people are coming in for this particular product or this promotion and are buying other things. And thereby we're providing new customers that will purchase more stuff in the store, which is fine if that's the case. And that's okay for big stores where they have a large amount of other products that people are buying. However, we're just looking at this particular promotion isolated from other products within the same store. Now, as you can see, the prices, the products that we're making on each of the products, from the shampoo, the conditioner, and the gel, with the first 3, and then obviously the total at the end. And then compare that. So let's just concentrate on the total profits that were made. So we can see here, with no profit, no promotion at all, the profits made was 650,000, approximately, a little bit more. But if we now go for the 3 for 2, regardless of the individual ones, but certainly going straight for the, which we can see where the main differences are, where we've made more on the gel, and certainly a lot less on the conditioner, but the total, let's just stick with the total to make life easier. It's now down to about 610,000. So literally a large chunk of money, 610 from say 650, so £40,000 less. Arguably, the best thing there would not have to have done that promotion at all. It's made us less money. If we go into giving a gift, go to the gift, same thing. We can see that obviously the conditioner has made far more money. The conditioner has made money. Giving a gift with that seems to have done the trick. It's gone from 400,000 to 650,000. But others haven't increased as much. The shampoo and the gel hasn't increased much, and the total profit on that means that it's actually less than we had before. So the total profit now going down to 600,000, so 50,000 less. And then if we go over to the money off, the 50p off, we can now see that the total profit, the important thing across the board, is significantly higher. I can't actually see because I'm covered by the screen for the gel, but certainly the shampoo has increased from 185, 190 to 280 or something, so quite significant. The profit on the conditioner from 400,000 to 600,000, big jump, and then the total profit from 650 now to 740,000, so 90,000 more or less. So the question is the same as before, which one would you pick? If we went back to the turnover, clearly it was 3 for 2. 3 for 2 has produced a lot more sales, but didn't produce more profit. Quite the opposite, produced less profit. Therefore, implies this is not a good idea. Gift with a product produced more turnover, but again, less profit on some things, not on everything. On some things it did make more. And obviously the case of the discount, profit on everything. Therefore, certainly giving a discount seems to have been the best kind of, certainly most cost-effective promotional tool to use in this particular case. Right, so there's the actual numbers of customers attracted. Which got more customers? Well, strangely enough, don't forget that one is turnover, one is an amount of money brought in. The other one was the profit made, and this is the amount of new customers brought in, so customers attracted. So we can see that prior to the promotion, of what the total customers were. So we can actually see, obviously, that were brought in by these that were new customers. So in the case of the 3 for 2, 225,000 new customers. Gift with a product, 220,000 and 243,000. So again, new customers, the most new customers attracted was the discount. Final decision. So the gift with a product attracts more customers, and the on-pack strategy attracts more new, possibly one-time users. In other words, they're not coming back again. Whereas the 3 for 2 generates the highest absolute amount of sales. So short-term profits, on-pack coupons are the most profitable, followed by 3 for 2. But long-term equities built more by the 3 for 2 strategies. So, objectives. Secure market leadership, ensure profitable promotions, maintain and enhance the professional hair care brand. 3 for 2 satisfies all the above requirements, whereas 50p coupons may dilute the brand equity. And a gift with a product can't sell as many products to secure market leadership. Therefore, it seems that they would recommend a 3 for 2 strategy as a promotional, as the best promotional strategy. Do you agree? Quite interested to see what your views are on this. I'll actually ask that question online. So go back over the numbers that we've just seen and think about the things that we've been talking about here based on those numbers. It doesn't necessarily have to be about shampoos and gels. It can be anything that maybe you're selling or you're dealing with. What decision would you have made based on those figures? In other words, you have 3 particular promotions that gave you those results. Based on those results, which ones would you continue? Which ones would you not do? Which to you would be the best kind of product for your kind of business? So this is basically what they look like. So we can see 3 for 2, mix and match. So that's part of the 3 for 2 offer. 3 for 2 on hair care, 3 for 2 on selected John Frieda products, 3 for 2. So we can see all the this is what they actually look like, and that's what obviously they decided was the best way to go, and that's what they went with. They decided it gave them more customers for their investment, and it gave more turnover and got more people in the store. But again, there's a big difference here. We've got to be very careful with this. We've already seen it wasn't the most profitable, but it got more customers in. What was the purpose of the actual promotion? Was it to make more profit, or was it to get more customers in the store? Was it to sell more product? Again, these are things that you're going to have to consider when it's your particular business and what products that you're offering. So that's all for this particular installment for today. We'll be back shortly with another one. But just think about it. I will be going online now, and once this has been posted, and ask you that question of those particular examples that we saw there. Which one would have been best for you? What would you have picked? Did your decision that you came up with previously, when I asked you, did that differ from what Boots actually eventually did? Did you choose a different thing than they were deciding to? But what was that based on? So not only based on Boots's example, but if it was in your particular company, what would you have chosen? So have a think of that. And I shall see you on the next class. Thank you.